Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is not David. So we've got a live stream coming up with Dr. Lena at 3 o'clock our time. It's 3 o'clock Pacific time. That would be 6 o'clock Eastern time, and you can do the math back from there. So Dave and I are really excited by this. Dr. Lena Rodriguez was the one that Dave actually took lessons to read tarot from. So it's really nice. I don't know what she did wrong to get paired up with us, but hey, we'll take her, right? She is definitely the queen of snark, and really excited about that. So I'm just going to do a solo today. Trump addressed both houses of Congress in a rousing speech that was met with enthusiasm from both sides of the aisle. Everyone was happy and cheered and thought everything went off swimmingly. Not. So basically what happened, Trump went up there and told bullshit stories and lies and half-truths and alternate facts for like an hour and a half, And then, of course, as always with Trump, there's going to be some level of fallout that results from this. Some good and some interesting and some not so good. So some of the highlights that came from that was one of my favorite quotes from Trump was, "The days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over." And then half the place burst into laughter, because, Elon Musk, right? Who is basically an unelected bureaucrat. He's out there running around with his little band of 20-year-olds going through people's private and personal tax information and health information. It's the epitome of rule by an unelected bureaucrat. So, I don't think that was quite the flex that the Republicans were thinking it was going to be. And clearly just an unintentionally funny moment in that whole address that Trump was doing. Representative Al Green got marched out of there because he was interrupting Trump, saying he doesn't have a mandate, and they got upset with him and told him to shut up, and he wouldn't shut up, so they marched him out of there. A lawsuit got filed immediately after Trump's little speech because he keeps referring to Elon Musk as the head of Doge. Well, Trump's the attorneys for the Trump administration keep saying that Elon Musk is not the head of Doge, that it's Amy Gleason, who's the acting administrator, is the acting administrator of Doge. And Trump keeps opening his mouth and openly contradicting that. So they're filing a lawsuit against the Trump administration because the creation of Doge violates the transparency requirements of the 1972 Federal Advisory Committee Act. Musk wasn't appointed to this. There is no oversight over this. So they're suing, saying he can't be the head of Doge. And so that's going to create some headaches. And then we got an unexpected spotlight or star came out of it, and that's Elissa Slotkin, the senator out of Michigan, who they gave the rebuttal to Trump's hour and a half of nonsense. She's a former CIA analyst. She's the current senator in Michigan. I think she used to be a member of Congress for Michigan. She was the Assistant Secretary of Defense for International Security Affairs. And she had a quote that was great about Doge. It says, "If anyone in America is comfortable with Musk and his gang of 20-year-olds using their own computer servers to poke through your tax returns, health information, and bank accounts." There's no one that's really comfortable with that. Me included. I've got nothing to hide, but these guys, they're not cleared by, they didn't get FBI clearance. They're just running roughshod through there. You don't know what's happened to this information or what they're doing with it. So it's just, a cluster. But Elissa Slotkin seems to be kind of an up-and-comer in the Democratic Party. So I was going to maybe take a look at her as well. But I wanted to start the reading with a look at Elon Musk and Doge and what's the future looking like for good old Elon, considering, the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over. And then they pan over to Musk and he's like waving at the crowd somewhat sheepishly. I don't think his addled brain completely understood that he just got self-owned, that the Republicans self-owned. Every statement's a confession. Every accusation's a confession with the Republicans. So what's the future look like for Elon Musk and Doge? Entertainment purposes only. Make sure the deck's up right. Okay. Right now, the Foundation of the Energy's Empress, hey, everything's great. We're providing all sorts of wealth and an abundance of information and cost cutting, and everything is going great. We're doing this for the benefit of America. The challenge is the Two of Wands, future actions. So what Musk is running into is he's got people now suing. They're looking at what's going on and they're saying, hey, he wasn't appointed by the Senate. There's no oversight, and they're filing lawsuits, and that's his challenge. There's probably some other court cases that are kind of limiting his ability to do what he wants to do. All right. Underneath it all is the Page of Wands, some new messaging coming forth. This could also be, his little 20-year-olds running around with our information and getting ready to put out new messaging and new information on Joe Q Public. In the past, Ace of Wands is starting a new action. We're going to go in there and we're going to find $2 trillion worth of savings from government waste. I guess they have some sort of website where they're publishing how much savings they've got, and they keep adjusting the information downwards. I looked at some of the things they were claiming, like canceled contracts. I don't know if that's really a savings because, with a contract, you have certain obligations to pay, especially if it's services that have already been rendered. And, if you have a contract, that means that there's a service being provided that you cannot do internally. So just because you cut the contract and stop spending the money, well, what are you going to do about the service that's no longer being provided, right? So, I'm sure there's some smoke and mirrors going on there. Current energy is the Ten of Pentacles. They're just showing, just like I said, they're showing on their website, look at all the money we're saving. This is Trump's legacy. He's really going to streamline the U.S. government. They're just, Trump's doing this for his own legacy. Elon's just saying how much money they're saving. Now, whether he actually is saving this or not, we'll find out eventually, I suppose, if someone does an audit. But MAGA doesn't care. As long as you tell them that they're saving money, they're going to believe it, right? Overarching energy is the Knight of Swords. He's going in there and he's just being reckless. That's what he does. Let's go out there and break it and see what happens. And then, after we go in there and we, Dave's analogy of, toss a grenade into an operating theater, after it blows up, say, okay, I'm done operating. You guys go clean up the mess, close up the patient and clean up. This is kind of how he attacks things. It's not a thoughtful surgical approach. It's just Sir Lancelot at the wedding, just killing anything in the way between him and the beautiful maiden in the tall tower who turned out to be Terry Jones. He was a little disappointed when he got to the tower. The lesson to be learned is the Three of Wands. You need to look out in the future and understand the consequences of the actions you're taking today. All right, what's the outcome? How's things looking for Elon? Elon is going to be on the defensive going forward. Seven of Wands. It's, you're defending from the high ground. He's got the backing of Trump right now, but there's a lot of people coming after him. I think that you're going to see a lot of court activity. We're already starting to see court activity. And there's going to be pressure if they're claiming savings, but there's no true savings that they're showing, and they're cutting services. They call them bureaucrats. I call them subject matter experts, right? These guys, these are employees of the federal government that know how to navigate through the processes for Social Security and Medicaid and all these different agencies that they're cutting staff. You get rid of the people that know what they're doing, guess what's going to happen? Everything is going to come to a grinding halt. And if you think those town halls right now are contentious, wait till people stop getting their Social Security checks or can't get Medicaid to pay for some procedure that they need. This isn't just the brown people and the black people, MAGA. This is you. The leopard's coming after you as well, because you've got a guy out there indiscriminately cutting things. He doesn't understand how the process works. He just knows that I need to cut and save $2 trillion. So let's just start cutting and we'll consolidate. Instead of trying to understand and flowchart how things are working and maybe making an attempt to streamline the process, why do that? That's work. Just cut, baby. So I think Elon's going to be in the court. The courts system and Elon Musk are going to get to know each other quite well. All right. Let's take a look at the energy around Elissa Slotkin. Is she going to be she appears to be an up and comer in the Democratic Party. What's her energy like? Let's take a look at her. Okay, foundation of the reading is the High Priestess. She was a former CIA analyst and an assistant Secretary of Defense for International Security Affairs. She knows secrets. She knows what questions to ask, what the right questions are to ask to get the right answers. The cross is the Ace of Wands. It's, getting her some traction. This was kind of giving her the rebuttal. That's getting people to know her. That's what this action is. This Ace of Wands is getting people to know her and see her as a leader. Because, let's face it, the Democratic Party, their messaging is not terribly good. And it's time for the younger folks to sort of jump in and start pulling the weight and letting the more experienced senior members enjoy their retirement. I guess that's a nice way of putting it. I believe she's like in her late 40s. Energy underneath it. Hopes, wishes, dreams fulfilled, 9 of Cups. She's a good fit. She's got the right messaging. She's got the right background. She's in a swing state. There's a lot of things that she brings forward for the Democrats. She seems to be a very well thought out person. In the past, we got the death card. This is, she flipped a seat in Michigan. But in this case, I'm thinking the death card is probably the old guard of the Democratic Party. And it's time, the king is dead, long live the king. It's time for someone new to come in and take over. We need the younger people. It's not just we need the younger people in the Democratic Party, the new set of leaders to come forward and lead this party, because the messaging needs to change and they need to get back to tabletop issues. Current energy is the Hermit, just slowly trying to find her path forward. Being cautious, being strategic, but also being tactical too, right? It's having the messaging for the current day, but looking down the road and understanding where we need to be. In 2 years, we could flip Congress. We could flip the House and, maybe flip the Senate. I'd say the House is your better bet. But right now, the Democratic Party and Elissa Slotkin, they got to find that path forward. Shine the light on the hazards ahead. Once again, overarching energy is the Fool. It's time for a new beginning, a new journey. Let the youth take over. So we got the end and we've got the beginning. A lot of major arcana here. Another major arcana. The lesson to be learned is the Moon card. Lift asking the right questions to end the confusion, to end the mystery, and shine the light on the path forward. You know, Trump and the Republicans are so good at gish galop and just making shit up, and then MAGA just believes them because they're told by Fox News that of course this is true. Trump said it, and then they broadcast it on Fox News, and so it becomes truth. You say something often enough, it becomes the fact and the reality. That's how Trump rolls. What's the outcome here? Queen of Cups. They've got to keep a lid on their emotions. The Democrats, their response so far to Trump's first 6 weeks in office has been very, very muted. When we fight, we win. Well, right now, they don't seem to be fighting much, right? And it's frustrating. We're not seeing the protests that we saw the first time around. And maybe we'll get there. Certainly mainstream media is not showing them. We have to rely on the media outside of the United States to let us know that people are actually protesting and gathering. But the Democratic leadership's been awfully quiet. And right now, I think the outcome is they're going to keep a lid on their emotions. They're going to let Trump make his mistakes. And then they're going to start pointing out those mistakes so that we can affect a change. Even if it's just the House of Representatives, you can derail a lot of that Project 2025 nonsense. You're not going to be able to derail the Supreme Court nominations, Lord help us, unless we get the Senate. So right now, the Democrats, they need people like Elissa Slotkin in their corner, generating some excitement and basically reaching out to mainstream America, if you will, the common folk, to get them to realize that Trump didn't bring down the price of those eggs, has he? That economy, we're kind of heading towards a recession, and those interest rates are staying high, unemployment's rising. Right now, they're showing a contraction in Q1. The reading we did just recently on the economy, it's not looking good. We're taking giant steps towards a recession, and quite frankly, it could end up being a depression depending on the severity of the contraction. So there's a lot of stuff going on that the Democrats need to let Trump be Trump. I mean, it's the hardest thing to say. It's the hardest thing to accept. But we were talking about this earlier. We need Trump to be the Trumpiest Trump, whoever trumped Trump. And then when things go south fast, they have no one to blame. You can't blame Biden. You can't blame Harris. You can't blame Obama. This is all you. These are you and your people, then your decisions and your actions that have created this mess. And you have no one to blame but yourself. And the Republicans are starting to see this in the town halls. People are starting to realize what a tariff is. People are starting to realize that when you get rid of all the subject matter experts in your government agency, stuff goes sideways, and the help and the relief and the treatments they need are no longer available, and they get mad. And then they go to their town hall and they let their representative hear it. And right now, the Republicans they're too busy celebrating their little victory, but they're starting to get the consequences of it. The leopard's not just eating the Democrats, guys. The leopards are going after the Republican politicians. And I get a lot of people asking in the comments, when is this going to end? And I keep saying the same thing. I did that reading about a month ago, when the Trump era is going to end. And the thing that kind of sticks with me is when Congress gets a backbone. And it's not the Democrats, it's the Republicans. The end of the Trump era is when the Republicans grow a spine and say, all right, you know what, I've had enough. And these town halls is just the first step in this. So it's hard to witness. It's hard to sit back and let this happen and not get outraged. But that's kind of the key right now, is that whole Queen of Cups. We got to, look out for our own, look out for yourself and the people that you care about and like-minded folks, and let the Republicans dig their own grave. And then we can start making things better. That is all I've got for you on this. I hope to see you all tomorrow on the live stream. Once again, it's going to be 3 o'clock Pacific time. That's 6 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Mountain. That's the United States anyway. So we'd love to see you there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we'll just take it one reading at a time there. I hope you all have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Oh, and I got a couple of shout outs here. Okay, so the first shout out I want to give is to Philip Ehrman. He wanted me to do a reading on Melania because he thinks that Melania's got a little something going on here, maybe with Putin and the Russian government. I will get to that. I'm sure David will want to be on that. That'd be kind of fun. But Philip's had a little bit of a health setback, battling some cancer. So Philip, I hope you're doing okay. I hope this video finds you doing well. And then we'll see what we can do about getting onto that Melania reading for you. And then just a couple of people I wanted to reach out to. Eileen Levin, who's been very active in the comments the last few days. Thank you so much. She gave us a little contribution to the channel. Aline, thank you for your contribution. Sorry for butchering your name. Betty Cutler, also thank you so much for your kind contribution to our previous video and for being in the comments. We truly appreciate that. And then finally, someone who's got one of the best names in the comment section, Cheap as Me. Cheap as Me, I hope you're doing great. Thank you for commenting in our comment section and being a part of the channel. We really appreciate that. And then for those of you who supported June Wagner and went over and subscribed to the Mouth of the South's her channel there. She hasn't changed the name of the channel to Mouth of the South, but she is embracing it when she does her readings. Thank you so much for subscribing to June. If you haven't seen June's channel, check it out, June Wagner. And then another shout out, there's some folks, Lynn is starting a new channel, Lynn and Jane. It's called Silver Goddess Tarot. And they're trying to get some traction and get some subscribers. So take a look, see if that resonates with you. So Lynn and Jane and Silver Goddess Tarot, check them out as well. Anyways, secret card, and then I'll set you free. Today's secret card is the Two of Swords. We have a choice. We have a choice. Right now, we would love to fight, but it's not the time to fight yet. So we need to be that Queen of Cups, keep our emotions, keep a lid on those emotions, let the Republicans F up. And they are effing up. And MAGA's starting to find out, and the mainstream person who votes red because there's an elephant next to the candidate's name, they're finding out too. That leopard, it's eating their faces. It's not just the brown and black people and not just women and minorities. It's you. So the leopard is eating. They're slowly figuring it out. It's showing up in the town halls. We've got a choice. So right now, we have to relax. But pretty soon, we're going to start fighting. And I'm looking forward to that day. Anyways, hope you all have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.